All right, Mr. Simon, please have a seat. And you are still under oath. Mr. Simon, I'm sorry. Go ahead and have a seat, Ms. Simon. So we're back on the record now in SPCR 22-03364J6, the State of Georgia versus Leilani Marie Simon. Mr. Simon has taken his place once again on the stand. He understands he's still under oath. And Mr. Simon, you mentioned earlier about polygraph. There's been a motion in limine which your court is granting. Do not mention polygraph. I don't expect you'll be asked any questions, but don't volunteer any answers, any responses about a polygraph. Do you understand? Have any questions? All right. Is the state ready to proceed?
The state is ready, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready to proceed?
The defense is ready, Judge.
That was a no-no.
You're fine, Mr. Simon. Thank you very much, though.
You were.
Mr. Hilliard,
Yes.
I believe you have Mr. Simon on cross. When we have them. Jurors, please. Thank you, Solomon.
Jurors not entering.
Thank you, Birch. Good afternoon. Please have a seat. Thank you. Welcome back after that short break. Did anyone have any discussions about the case? Did anyone do any research? Okay. And with that, we will proceed. Mr. Hilliard.
Mr. Simon, my name is Martin Hilliard. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm pretty good. No complaints. I've got some questions for you, and I'm probably going to start on October 5th and work back a little bit. You were already at home on the morning of October 5th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you said you woke up, you went outside, took your dog outside.
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to kind of approach the witness and show him the state's exhibit real quick.
I'll show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 9. If you would, the upstairs bedroom that you stay in,
Which bedroom is that? Does it overlook the pool? Does it overlook the front yard, the side yard?
It overlooked the pool and the driveway.
Okay.
Because the way the bathroom was faced was towards the outside driveway.
Okay.
Then the room I was in faced towards the inside of the driveway.
All right. So, based upon what you're looking at right there, would it be above the dining room or the living room or somewhere in that area?
Above the living room.
By the living room?
Right above it.
Okay.
and so you could look out over the pool and the patio and the parking area, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And this other bedroom right here
Look towards the front.
is towards the front.
Yes, sir.
Just trying to get an orientation.
All right. So, you were at home that night around the night of October 4th around 11:40. Was a text message between you and your coworkers that Mr. Dean was just talking about, correct?
Yes, sir.
You remember sending that?
Yes, sir.
Were you awake?
I was trying to go to sleep, so I was kind of trying to end the conversation pretty fast.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I was already laid down. But at 11 to go to sleep, and so when a text message came through, it kind of woke me up a little bit.
Okay.
And so, I was just trying to get it done and over with, but yeah, I was a little bit awake.
All right. Well, let's just talk about that. So, you were a little bit awake. Did you hear any doors opening or closing, or a ruckus, or anything going on at that point in time?
No, sir.
Okay. And I don't know because I don't know anything about the house, but if the door for the living room or the dining room open or closed, can you hear that from upstairs or no?
You can hear a car door shut, but you can't really hear the door shut unless it's slammed.
Okay. So if the dining room door, the living room door shut, you wouldn't necessarily hear it.
No, sir.
And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but if there's a car door outside slammed, you would definitely hear that.
Yes.
Okay. And so, did you hear that at any point in time that evening?
Around about 11:20, I heard a car door shut, and it was Leilani coming back in from getting cigarillos. And I just kind of laid there and ignored it because I just finished my episode and I was heading to bed.
Okay. So about 11:20, you heard the car door shut. Now, in the morning times, do you hear when anybody leaves for work?
No, sir.
Okay.
Being passed out, I don't.
You
After working, I don't really hear a whole lot.
Understandable. So, you slept through the morning of October 5th till about 9:30, correct?
I woke up about 8:30, but I laid there until 9.
Okay. And at that point in time, had you heard anything?
I heard a little bit of yelling, but like I said, that was an everyday thing, so I just didn't pay no attention to it and laid there until I heard it move away where I couldn't hear it. And then I got up and let the dog out. And that was about 9 o'clock was when I got up.
And you said you heard some yelling. What yelling did you hear?
I just heard Leilani screaming, but I didn't know what she was screaming about or nothing like that. I just heard screaming.
All right. And you were taking the dog out when that happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said the police showed up and Daniel showed up, correct? And you said that you heard the yelling and the police showed up, and you said that Leilani was a complete mess, correct?
Yes, sir.
How about Daniel?
He wasn't really phased. He didn't look phased. He left work in a hurry, but other than that, the whole time he was more worried about what was going to happen to him throughout the whole thing, from what I saw.
Okay.
I mean, 3 days after it happened, he's up in North Carolina just that quick. Boom, gone. I mean, that just strikes me as not good, not right behavior when you're supposed to be.
When they make an objection at the start.
Yeah.
Just a moment, I'm sorry. Was there an objection?
There was an objection, Judge. So.
Mr. Dean?
Non-responsive.
Mrs. Daniel?
Mr. Simon,
Just a moment.
just, you have to let me ask the questions
Oh,
and
my
you
bad,
have to
I'm
answer
sorry.
them, okay? So you were there that day and you were there all day, correct? On October 5th.
Yes, sir, until the police took us.
Right. So you said when Danny got there, he seemed unfazed. Okay. You said Leilani was a mess, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you answer all the questions that were put to you that day?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I'm curious, at this point in time, how long had you known Daniel Youngkin?
About 4 months. All I really knew about him before that was that he was one of Leilani's baby daddies. That's all I knew about him before that.
All right. So, and when did you move into the house on Buckalter Road?
In about April, right after my birthday.
So, April of 2022?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this was in October of 2022, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and I guess when you moved in, Danny and Leilani and the kids were already there.
Yes, sir, they were.
Okay. Now, did you ever notice Danny and Leilani either using drugs or drinking?
Danny drunk every day.
Right?
He'd be riding down the road drinking a Fireball, little shot, consistently every day.
All right. And you know, not being judgmental, but and Leilani smoked,
Yep, smoke weed.
and you did too.
Mhm.
Did you ever see him do anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. And if anything else was done,
I would have told my mom.
okay, so that was not something you knew about.
No, sir.
All right.
And I believe Leilani knew that, and that's why she constantly tried to hide it from me. That she was doing something that she didn't want me to know of.
Okay. And same thing for Danny, correct?
Definitely put that in.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So, was it uncommon for the back door? And again, if you don't know, that's fine. But how did you normally come in and out of the house when you?
Through the back door.
Okay. And was that pretty much how everyone entered the house?
Yes, sir.
And was it uncommon that those doors would be unlocked?
Normally, since I was the one that got off work, the last one to be home, it would be locked whenever my stepdad would be home. But if it was everybody else, I would be the one that locked the door before I went up to bed.
So, and that's kind of what I was getting to. Normally, you were the one who locked the door when you came in at night,
Yes,
right?
sir.
And do you have any recollection doing so this particular night, the
Yes,
night
sir.
of October 4th?
I locked it when I came in, and I had went in and talked to Danny, and then went to bed.
And again, not being judgmental, but you smoke blunts. Do you smoke cigarettes, Paul?
I used to.
Okay. When did you quit?
About 3 years ago when I started vaping.
So you gave up cigarettes and started vaping.
Yes, sir.
How about Leilani? She smoked cigarettes?
Yes, sir.
And how about Danny?
Yep.
And whenever they were smoking at the house, where would they normally go to smoke?
Either the front or the back.
Were there ashtrays out there?
There was ashtrays in the back on the back porch, and there should have been one on the front porch. But then Lonnie started smoking after a few months of them moving down in that room.
Now, you said you came in the night of October 4th, and you saw Quinton, Zane, and Sky.
Guy was in the little swing thing where that's where she kind of just slept in that. Zane was in his race car bed in the corner of the wall, and Quinton was right at the foot of the bed in the playpen.
And they were all good at that point in time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And had you ever seen, you said Danny seemed agitated when you got home. Anything abnormal, or was it just his normal?
It was just his normal whining and complaining, but he just, like I said, he just seemed a little bit more agitated. But I was like, don't worry, man. She's going to be back here in a little while.
Right.
She just rode up the road.
Did you ever see Leilani that evening?
I did not.
Okay.
I had already went to bed before I had saw her.
All right. And did you ever hear them two arguing or bickering at any point in time that evening?
No, sir.
That's all the questions I got, Judge. Thank you, Mr. Simon.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dean, any redirect?
One moment, please. No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Simon, is there any reason not to excuse Mr. Simon?
Not on behalf of Ms. Simon, no.
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Simon, you are excused, sir. The state may call its next witness.